Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Johnny.
It's a bright and sunny morning, right?
Yeah, man. It's beautiful out, man.
Yeah.
Rocking a new hat right now. Justin over at the Cat just gave me a fresh cat hat.
We
so
have
I got
a lot
my cat
of those
hat on.
around here.
Yeah,
nice.
man. I was actually, when I got out of my car, I usually wear a hat to get my headphones actually fit better when I have a hat on. So I forgot my hat this morning. Kevin said, "Hey, you want a hat?" I'm like, "Sure."
It's all yours.
Look it up, man. He's got a good day ahead of him. He's going to that brew festival at the Times, or I'm sorry, the MVP Arena.
Yeah, MVP Arena.
Oh, I think our guest Shawn Moodie's knocking at the back door. I can hear him.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Well, if you want to take this break early and get the door.
Well, listen. Let's tee up the show, right?
All
so
right.
we got Shawn Moodie coming on from Moodie Blues Consultant. He is our expert credit specialist. He also does alternative funding for real estate deals. And we got a good show today because Shawn and I planned out for the listeners, and again, the mission of the show is to bring the people of the real estate world, whoever's listening. I don't like to pigeonhole people in the Capital Region because this is a live stream. You can listen to this pretty much anywhere in the world if you want to. So anybody that's interested in real estate, and especially with Shawn, because it isn't area specific. I mean, credit affects you whether you live in California or, Tucson or wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Your credit is important. We're actually going to get into what your rights are, right? And I think a lot of misnomers people have is that, the credit bureaus are just these entities that you can't beat. But Shawn's going to tell us how you can beat the bureaus and how you can repair your credit.
That's
so
great.
That's the goal of the show. Bring you guys the most up-to-date tips, tricks, real estate market conditions. Hey, that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years. And I love doing the show and like bringing this information to people. It's also a call-in show. We'll give you the call-in number after this quick sponsor break. Shawn's waiting at the back door. I'm going to go let him in, and we're going to talk credit with Shawn Moodie from Moodie Blues Consultant on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Real Estate Talk Show.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hey, it's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. I love that one. JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at salernolawny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. We got Shawn Moodie in the studio this morning. Came in the nick of time. We had to take the sponsor break early so I could let him in the back door. He always makes an entrance. We love him like that. What's going on, man?
Doing great. Good to see you, John. I like the Star Wars shirt, too.
Thanks, buddy.
Star Wars shirt
yeah, man, I got my cat hat on, my Star Wars shirt, man. I'm styling. I was just telling Johnny that I got a free hat from Kevin over at the Cat before the show. I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, when we have free stuff around here, we'll give it away.
Not really in the country, but I'm digging the hat. I'll support the Albany Broadcasting Company radio stations.
There you go. That's right.
Exactly. So Shawn, listen, I kind of teed up the listeners and let people know that people have rights when it comes to credit, right? So we've gone back and forth about different topics and what to talk about, and when we did kind of the pre-show call at the beginning of the week, you brought up a good point. Like there's some legal rights that people don't know about when it comes to their credit, and I want to get into it today. So like when you talk to people about this, what's one of the big misnomers that your clients or customers come to you with when it comes to credit bureaus and what protection they have?
Yeah, so a couple of different things. One is they assume that the consumer reporting agencies, aka the credit bureaus.
The bureaus, right. It sounds so governmental, too, doesn't it? Right?
Exactly. So they assume that these are government agencies when, in fact, these are publicly traded, for-profit, billion-dollar companies, right? And the reality...
Billion-dollar companies,
yeah,
right.
And the reality is they make mistakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So people assume that, whatever's on those reports is gospel, and the reality is that's not the case. And on top of that, to your point, there are consumer laws, one of them being the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which puts the onus on the bureaus, not us as consumers. It puts the onus on the bureaus and the creditors to ensure that the information that they're reporting around your credit history is accurate,
right,
verifiable, right?
Okay.
All information is complete, right?
So I always wondered, like, how did credit start in a way? Like, how did these bureaus come about? I mean, were they like startups at some point said, hey, we're going to start reporting credit and make this some sort of a game and for profit?
Yeah. So, people have been exchanging goods since the beginning of time, right?
The barter system.
Right. But I believe it was in the 70s, the Fair Isaac Corporation, which was an engineer and a mathematician, they decided to come up with a scoring model called FICO, which eventually became FICO, right? Mm-hmm. And to apply this scoring model to assess risk, so to help borrowers or creditors. If I'm going to lend you something, I want to know how risky a borrower you are, right? So they created this algorithm, which this is how they make money, right? Mm-hmm. To assess risk. So based on your credit history, if you've got a good credit history, the algorithm says, okay, we're going to give you a higher score. Hence, you get better rates, better terms, and a better chance of being approved versus a lower score based on your history. Lower chance to get approved. You may even get declined or higher rates, right? So, bad credit is expensive.
So, Shawn, back before the credit bureaus, you had to rely on your bank or whoever you were trying to borrow the money from.
Exactly.
Right.
It was up to them.
It was bartering. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So it was more around relationships and who you knew. And
yeah.
But records were kept from since the beginning of time, basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of stinks because these mathematicians took the whole relationship aspect out of the lend, right? I mean, it's still still exists,
Oh yeah.
Even on more so on the alternative of funding side, like you take our guy Chuck Cefalu. I mean, most of his loans that are done on DSCR aren't based on necessarily credit score. It's like, how well do you know Chuck, and can he get a loan for you? Correct?
Yeah, but he's a private lender.
He's a private lender.
That's the exception.
That's the exception, right? We're talking about traditional banks, credit unions, more on the residential funding side of the equation, where the credit score comes into play.
And then let's not forget government agencies, right? You can't if you're in the military service, you can't get into certain classifications without with bad credit.
Really?
Right. Right. Certain clearances you may not be able to get. Employment, the insurance agency that can determine the premium you're paying.
Man, so this credit thing just doesn't even. I mean, it's more than just trying to get a loan for a house, trying to get a loan on a car. It's pretty much
it's your financial reputation. Basically.
It's your reputation, yeah. So, all right. So let's say, you get some sort of thing on your credit that you can't get off. Like, what's the process now? Like, I know on one of my LLCs, I had a $42 collection that was paid off, but it got reported. It got reported unjustly, and you actually helped me through the process. So you tell them how you helped me with this.
This is on the personal credit report, if I remember correctly, or was it the business?
No, this was on business.
Okay, so that's a whole different ball game.
Okay,
I don't want to confuse people.
But the process is similar.
In a sense, but on the business side, so it's actually a little. I don't want to say much easier. I don't want to make it seem like it's super super easy. However, on the corporate side, so on the business credit reports, it's a little easier because here's the reality. On the business side, it's kind of like a free for all. So there's many consumer laws that protect us as consumers when you think about your personal credit report, right? Your consumer credit report. Okay. On the business side, not so much. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a free for all. So if you see something, for instance, on your business, so for in your case, in your business credit report, like Dun & Bradstreet, we can go ahead, we can call them, we can follow Experian business. We can go ahead and call, or we can actually file a dispute online, and it's the process is a lot faster. And again, more than likely, especially if you've got your proof or evidence that, hey, this has been paid, or hey, I got a slow pay that wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah, you can more than likely get it fixed. A lot different on the personal side.
All right, so talk to us residentially, because go ahead.
Yeah, so it's about knowing your rights, right? So, like the main law that protects consumers is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, as I mentioned earlier. But there are other laws. So, for instance, let's say as an example, you mentioned collection, a paid collection. Okay. Collections, first of all, collection companies, they are bound under specific rules. One main law is called the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which governs how they can try to collect that debt. Example, they can't call you before 8 or after 9 o'clock. They can't call you at your place of employment. They can't call your spouse. By the way, if they call you and you actually request them not to call you regarding that alleged debt, they can't call you again. Really? People don't know that. And if they do call you again, that's a violation, and they're liable for. I helped one client get over $7,000 based on those violations.
Really?
Just with a collection company.
And they struck off the collection off
and
the
they struck
report.
Not only did they remove the collection, they paid her over $7,000.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! You got him. Hey, listen, guys, this is a call-in show. 518-476-5900. If you've got some credit questions, you're thinking about buying a house, and you want to talk to Shawn about what's going on with your credit score, credit report, give us a call. 476-5900. Anyway, so that's incredible that you actually got them money because they broke the law. And absolutely had to pay for it.
And over the last several years, it's north of $90,000. So this is not some one-off case. It happens fairly frequently.
Okay. Now let's say you're in a situation where I've had buyers come to me and say, hey, listen, like we had our identity stolen, and through this identity theft problem, their credit was ruined.
Right.
I mean, did the rights apply in those types of situations?
Absolutely.
Because you hear all these.
Absolutely.
We're going to protect your credit and up to $1 million thing.
And I've helped multiple clients deal with identity theft. Listen, it's happened to me. Right.
It did.
And so they say it happens every 3 seconds in the United States. So it's a pretty common occurrence. Yeah. Having said that, yes, that's covered under the umbrella of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act that I mentioned earlier. But if you are the victim of identity theft, and again, the first thing you need to do is check your credit reports regularly, because you're not going to know, and have some sort of monitoring, by the way, too. Because if not, you're going to find out when it's too late. Yeah, where the damage is already done, and it can be pretty extensive if you don't catch it quickly. Secondly, you want to go to www.identitytheft.gov and file a claim immediately. I'm not going to go into all the steps, but it's pretty self-explanatory, very user-friendly. And you're going to file a case, file an affidavit. They'll have you fill out a police report. And then you're going to report to the bureaus. And here's the beauty. If you're a victim of actual identity theft and you report to the bureaus, listen, this Macy's account does not belong to me. It was opened fraudulently, and they don't remove it, that's a violation.
Okay.
And violation equals lawsuit. So you can either, I have amazing attorneys that I'm partnered with. I actually have an FCRA attorney as well. And again, the settlements are typically $1,000 plus because they have to make you whole. Because here's the reality: if they don't fix that, you can be hurt financially, right? That can be, so if there's something on the report that doesn't belong there and it prevents me from qualifying for my mortgage, or I get declined for a credit card, as an example, right? I have some financial distress there, right? So.
Well, listen, you guys are going to want to stick around. I hate to cut you off, Shawn, because we still got plenty of time. But after the break, Shawn are going to help you figure out what to do if you've been denied credit based on your scores and how we can help you with that. And we're going to talk about VIP homeowner service because that ties into Shawn's program right after the break in Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we are back. Thanks for sticking around. We are here with Big Shawn Moodie, Moodie Blues Consulting. Also the author of the book, The Perfect Formula for Business Credit and Funding. So, with that being said, though, I mean, really, Shawn, the market's still pretty tight. I mean, they keep talking about this interest rate nonsense. I don't know. It's the boy who cried wolf to me. They say September it's really going to happen. I think at this point they've talked so much about it, it probably is going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. Yes.
So, really, okay, one little rate decrease over the past, 18 months it's probably been since they've really made a move with them. I mean, it'll move the needle slightly, but I think really probably second quarter next year we'll start to feel what's really going to happen with things and if the market's going to open up a little bit. But it's still tight. Our VIP Home Hunter system is an incredible tool for people that are looking for a house that keep shutting out. That are having to deal with multiple offer situations. So basically, we're able to bring you guys off-market, unlisted homes that match your home buying criteria. I'm talking about good stuff like bank foreclosure, company-owned properties, distress sales, basically all the deals that don't make it to the market or Zillow or all the big websites that end up on my desk first, I give to my priority clients. Now, with that being said, don't be afraid to call me about getting on the VIP homeowner service if there's a tick on your credit, right? Because again, this is all about team. The whole point of me bringing guests like Shawn on the show is to help people get into properties and get into investments too as well when it comes to real estate. So if you're interested in the VIP homeowner service, call the office, 957-SOLD, that's 957-7653, and get access to all the hot off-market properties that we have in our VIP homeowner service. Now, again, if you want to call in on the show and you want to talk to Shawn, you have some credit questions, 476-5900, 476-5900. Now, Shawn, now that we let them know where they get the properties, we were talking on the break, so this legal credit dispute service, there's no cost to this, correct?
Well, it depends on
up front, I should say, up front.
Right. So if an attorney has to get involved, right? So I have attorneys that I partner. The attorneys that I partner with, they don't charge an upfront fee as far as taking a retainer, especially if it's an identity theft case, or if there's a clear violation of the law, either by the credit bureaus or a creditor or both.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you some other things, some other attorneys may charge a retainer. As an example, let's say you bought a car and it was a lemon,
okay,
and it was repoed. Well, guess what? There are a number of there are a number of things that the lender must do. Notifications that they have to provide to you when they take that car and they eventually auction it. There are specific things they need to do to notify you before and after.
Okay.
So, and if they don't take those steps, an attorney can get involved, as an example.
So this is in the case if you bought a car that was repoed at one point,
correct,
and they consider that a lemon because of the repo.
No. It may not have been a lemon. Let's say you couldn't keep up with the payments, or you co-signed for somebody else and they didn't keep up with the payments and it was repoed. Or, and by the way, if a lender starts the repo process, even though, let's say the following day you make the payment, or you even make the payment the same day and get the car back, they still report it as a repo on your credit report, which is, in my opinion, not fair, but that's what happens, right?
Okay.
But my point is, there are specific steps that the lender has to take before, during, and after the process in the way of notifications to the consumer that the average consumer does not know.
Okay.
As an example. So what I'm saying is, I don't want to make a blanket statement and say an attorney is not going to charge you. There are some attorneys may charge an initial retainer. Some won't. I know the FCRA attorney I work with, where we sue based on violations either by the bureaus or the creditors. There's no upfront fees, right? Because he's going to get paid based on the
results.
On the results, right?
But at the end of the day, a small retainer isn't a lot to ask, to try to get this thing
absolutely not
rectified. So, a lot of things I get too, and I want to talk about this, but bankruptcies, right? Because a lot of real estate applicants, buyer applicants, hey, we had a bankruptcy. It's been, I feel, there's that whole rule of thumb that after 7 years, the bankruptcy goes away. How true is this? Because a lot of times people come to me and say, hey, it's been 7 years, but I can't get the stinking thing off my credit report. What do I do?
Yeah, so it's actually 10 years, believe it or not.
10 years, okay.
So
That's why you're here. That's why I'm a realtor, you're the credit guy.
Yeah, so Chapter 7 is 10 years. Chapter 13, it's 7 years from the date of discharge, which typically, you might be in it for 2 years making payments. So just general rule of thumb is 10 years.
Okay.
Having said that, a bankruptcy, even though you may have filed bankruptcy, bankruptcy still falls under the umbrella of the Fair Credit Reporting Act and other consumer laws.
Okay.
Right? So as an example, believe it or not, the courts don't report the courts don't report to the bureaus as far as, so when you file, the courts don't report to the bureaus. Well, under federal law, you have to get my consent to share my information. So if I file bankruptcy, I'm getting technical right now, but it's actual law. You have to get the consent of the consumer before you report my personal or private information. But technically, the courts do not report.
So how's it end up on your report?
Because they get the information from a third party that tracks public records. The main source is called LexisNexis. LexisNexis, which is another reporting agency that pretty much fishes out and pulls all the public records. Yeah, whether you have judgments.
That's a super powerful resource.
Absolutely,
we used to use that to find property records, property owner information.
There you go.
So you can call them.
But having said that, all the information regarding the bankruptcy has to be accurate. From the date you filed, the case number, all the information has to be accurate. And if it's inaccurate, you can dispute that.
You can. Yeah.
And again, the burden of proof is on, and this is the key point, the burden of proof is on the bureaus, not you as the consumer.
So with the bankruptcy, let's say you beat LexisNexis to the punch, and
you can freeze the reports.
You could freeze that report, and the bankruptcy doesn't end up on your report.
Right. Now there are other,
but they're probably going to find it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you come back,
the goal here is not to tell people how to.
Yeah. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, eventually you're going to find it. But it's interesting that you can, somewhat buck the system. Oh my God, we only got a minute left again. Jeez. Go ahead, keep going, Shawn.
Yeah. So the bottom line is,
cram it in here.
Come on. Report. I don't care if it's a bankruptcy, a collection, charge off, late payment, repossession, foreclosure. It doesn't matter. Anything on the report can potentially be removed. And you have every right as a consumer, like I said, to to dispute those items. Collections don't ever pay those automatically because these are third-party debt buyers that are buying these accounts for pennies on the dollar, and oftentimes it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Medical collections, another
we didn't even touch on that.
Right? No. So the law now is if you have a medical collection that's $500 or less, they are not allowed to put it on your report. And if it's paid, they got to remove it.
All right, listen, I got to take a break. We could do like 9 shows off of that. I didn't even realize we could get this deep into it, but take a quick break. We're going to get with Shawn. If anybody's got any last-minute questions, give us a call, 476-5900. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore from Moore Insurance Services in Clifton Park. Let me take the stress out of quoting your home and auto insurance. We represent over 10 companies, which allows us to find the best coverage at the best prices. We've been helping families in the Capital District save money on their insurance for over 10 years. You can count on a quick turnaround as well as great communication every time. Give me a call at 518-280-1452 or go online to moreinsurancesvc.com and experience the difference. That's moreinsurancesvc.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up here with Shawn Moodie from Moodie Blues Consulting, and we didn't even scratch the surface on the legalities of credit reporting, how to clean up your credit to buy a house or buy an investment property. But I don't know, we got like a minute and a half. So,
but
Shawn,
there are things you can do.
There are things you can do, absolutely. Yeah. The moral of the story is, like, don't give up on your credit, because and call Shawn, obviously. But Shawn, just give them 3 quick tips on keeping their credit clean.
1, pull your credit reports regularly. Right? So annualcreditreport.com, you can get one free, believe it or not, weekly. Better than bank apps, Experian.com, you can get your report free with your score. Credit Karma, if you should so choose, but pull it regularly.
Very inexpensive.
2, look for errors, right?
Okay.
Look for outdated information, whether it's aliases, names that you haven't used, the maiden names, old addresses. You can dispute those, get those removed. You can do that online, or you can do it via mail. If you're going to send mail, always send it certified with your proof. Include 2 proofs of your address and 1 proof of your Social Security. So your Social Security card, and maybe a driver's license, at least 2. And then 3, if you do dispute any information on your report, and it's inaccurate and it doesn't get removed, you can actually file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You go to www.cfpb.gov. Again, pretty user-friendly, fairly user-friendly for a government site. And they're in charge of oversight of the bureaus. That's what I'd share.
All right. Well, you guys heard it straight from the credit guru's mouth. But Shawn, thank you for coming on the show. Those are some nuggets right there. And this is to be continued, because this is a hot topic, and I think people can really grab good information from this. But how do they get a hold of you? Quick.
Yep. 518-245-9411 or moodiebluesconsulting.com, and that's blues with a Z.
All right, guys. You guys are not going to want to miss next week's show. I don't know who's going to be on next week's show, but I know it's going to be exciting, because we always get a good guest on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show. Have a great Saturday. Thanks, guys.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.